Okay, we're going to go ahead and do 2.5 worksheet 2, and we're going to start with number 3. It's exactly the same procedure as the last worksheet, except for they're a little bit more detailed, higher numbers. So, step 1, P over Q. If I'm doing P over Q, I need all the factors of 150 over 1. Now, I'm going to show you the easy way to do it. So let's come over here, and you're going to type in here calculator soup. Calculator soup factors. Okay? Come right here. Because the whole point of this is to not miss any of the factors. So by doing this, if it ever comes up, well, I'm kind of sad that calculator soup won't come up, but later on, if you would just do calculator soup and factors, you'll be able to do that. But we'll just go with what we have now, and I will show you what they are. So all the factors are going to be plus or minus 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 10, 15, 25, 30, 50, 75, and 150. So that is the list. So your window size is going to be plus or minus 150, so that's going to be negative 151 to 151. Okay? So Descartes' rule of signs. So Descartes' rule of signs, we're going to go ahead and do the positive roots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can have 5. 5 minus 2 is 3. 3 minus 2 is 1. And then I have to have a 5, 3, or 1. Negative roots, I'm going to change only the odd powers. So that's negative x to the 5th, minus 16x to the 4th, minus 94x cubed, minus 254x squared, minus 325x, and then minus 150. There's no sign change there. So basically we have plus, minus, imaginary, and then total. So I can have 5, 3, or 1, and 0 paired with those each time, and I have to have a total of 5 each time. So that leaves 0, 2, or 4 left over there. Now, my gut's telling me it's going to be this one. That's what I would assume, because I'm not going to give you 4 imaginary roots. Potentially I could, but generally speaking I will not. So that means you are going to have probably 3 positive and 2 imaginary. So now we're going to graph this thing. So I'm going to graph this thing, and I'm going to come back over here to Desmos, and I am going to clear this one out. And this is going to be x raised to the 5th minus 16x raised to the 4th plus 94x raised to the 3rd minus 254x squared plus 325x minus 150. And we need to come to the wrench, and we need to go negative 151 to positive 151. And it doesn't really matter the steps. We can go by tens to make it a little bit easier for ourselves. Now, why is this important? Do you see all your positives there? Since we see all of our positives here, since you can see all your positives right here, I don't need to see any of the negative graph at all. I don't need any of this. So I can actually change this, and I can zoom in. So whenever I say I can zoom in, I can just keep on zooming in so that I can see this a little bit better. And if I click on my graph then, 6, 5, and 1 seem to be my roots. So I'm going to do synthetic division at those 3 values, 6, 5, and 1. That's what I'm going to do synthetic division at. So I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to do root 1, maybe, root 1, 1, root 2, 5, and root 3, 6. Those are what I have to do synthetic division at. So if I do that, I have a 1 I'm going to do 1, negative 16, 94, negative 254, 325, and negative 150. Okay? So I'm going to have my calculator here in my hand so that I can make my math a little bit easier. Negative 15 gives me negative 15. 94 minus 15 is going to give me 79. Minus 254 is going to give me negative 175. Plus 325 is going to give me 150. And then the 150 is going to give me 0. So I'm going to do it at 5. That's a 1, that's a 5, that's a negative 10, a negative 50, so that's going to be 29. 29 times 5 is going to give me 145. Minus 175 gives you negative 30. Negative 150 to give me 0. So now I'm going to go ahead and do it again at 6. So that's 6, negative 4, negative 24, a 5, negative positive 30 to give me a 0. Now, the thing I need your brain to understand is that we did synthetic division 3 times. So this is now degree 4, now degree 3, and now I'm down to degree 2. So that's going to be x squared minus 4x plus a 5 is equal to 0. Because that's what I had over here. So now I have to do the quadratic formula here. So that's negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2a. So that's going to be 4 plus or minus negative 4 squared minus 4 times 1 times 5 all over 2 times 1. So this gives me 4 plus or minus 16 minus 20 over 2. 4 plus or minus negative 4 over 2, which that's going to be 4 plus or minus 2i over 2 to give me 2 plus or minus I. So my root 4 is going to be 2 plus I, and then my root 5 is going to be 2 minus I. So that means my complete factorization of this thing is going to be x minus 1, x minus 5, x minus 6, x minus 2 plus I, and x minus 2 minus I. And then you are done. You have 3 more to do, like